Social and Emotional Learning in Early Education by April Major. The breakdown of this presentation is going to include what is social and emotional learning, also known for the rest of this presentation as SEL, my question and relevant research on SEL, areas of the brain involved in SEL, SEL impacts on learning, and how teachers can implement the social and emotional learning into the classroom. What is social and emotional learning? Aristotle said, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Social and emotional learning is how children and adults learn to understand and manage emotions, set goals, show empathy for others, establish positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. Here's a short clip to understand.
There's a lot of talk these days about SEL, social emotional learning. But what exactly is it? Social emotional learning is the process of learning social and emotional skills, and it's just as important as learning reading or math. This learning process is most effective when it begins early and continues through high school. Social emotional skills are essential for success in school, work, and life. With SEL, students learn to manage their own emotions and behaviors, have empathy and show care and concern for others, solve problems effectively, make responsible decisions, and maintain healthy relationships. Students learn to recognize what's happening inside them and to be aware of their emotions, which helps them deal with strong emotions and impulsive behaviors. It helps them stop, take a breath, and think about a situation before acting. Students learn to identify others' emotions and perspectives, helps them empathize and show compassion, no matter who they are or what their background is. It's not difficult to imagine how this is important in the classroom and in life. Students learn to solve problems in peaceful ways and communicate assertively about what they need or want. This helps them get along with other students and get the help they need from adults. When students learn to make responsible decisions about their lives and their future, things can turn out better. Research shows social emotional learning makes a difference. Students who participate in SEL do better academically, have improved attitudes and behaviors, and act in delinquent or disruptive ways less often. In the United States, students with strong social emotional competence are twice as likely to earn a college degree and nearly 50% more likely to graduate from high school and a full-time job by age 25. Just as important, students who are socially and emotionally competent have more friends. This means they're more likely to feel connected to school and do well, and less likely to be left out or bullied. Simply put, by participating in social emotional learning, students learn the skills to succeed in every facet of school and the rest of their lives.
Relevant research. My question for my research paper was, why are some SEL programs more successful than others? What are the components needed for a successful SEL program in early education? One of the leading components of a successful SEL program in early education is family engagement. O'Connor et al. Detailed that relationship between educator and parents translates into stronger social and emotional development of children, as well as developing stronger connections with the two environments of school and home. McLellan et al. States that programs like Incredible Years and Ruler are successful SEL programs that incorporate family into the curriculum by using sources like newsletters or training the parents to carry the lessons into the home. O'Connor states, supporting parent-child relationships has been associated with improvements in children's behaviors and interactions between parent and child. Parents report increased parenting, empathy and communication skills, parenting confidence, and developmental expectations. Another important component to a successful SEL program is the use of evidence-based practices derived from theoretical approaches. White et al. Determined that 8 preschool SEL programs that they analyzed were not only using evidence-based practices, but that they were all framed from some child developmental theory. White et al. Ranked instructional and rehearsal procedures of the 8 SEL programs, and from those rankings, they determined these specific topics, like explicit instruction, modeling, puppets, was congruent with Bandura's social learning theory. White et al. Also categorized that implementation procedures like training, teacher resources, assessment, etc., were framed from an ecological systems theory. White et al. Also referenced cognitive development theories in this research. O'Connor et al. Also referenced a child developmental theory. The partnership model is underpinned by Bronfenbrenner's ecological systems theory, recognizing that children exist within the interconnections between broader levels of family, community, and society, and acknowledges that families are vital in the children's lives. The last main component needed for a successful SEL program is the training of educators. McLeland pushes this component to also include building teachers' own SEL program skills in addition to children's, because to effectively implement an SEL intervention, teachers must be able to model strong skills as well. In a study done by White and Walker, they could examine 32 preschool-age children for 8 weeks in an intervention and controlled setting. The intervention group had been given several resources, a booklet, an online resource, and a 1-hour professional development course, which provided a step-by-step guide on how to administer this practice. The conclusion of the research was that early childhood educators are competent at developing teaching programs, which meet SEL educational outcomes using evidence-based practices when provided with relevant resources. Areas of the brain. For the emotional component, the limbic system between the brainstem and the cerebrum is the area of the brain that controls generating and processing of emotions. Interestingly, however, the window for developing emotional control seems to be from 2 to 30 months. For the social skills aspect, the prefrontal cortex, located within the frontal lobe, is the area of the brain that operates and drives the rationale and executive control center of the brain, monitoring higher order thinking, directing problem solving, and regulating excesses of emotional system. Souza writes that the frontal lobes develop slowly and well into post-adolescence, which helps us to understand why adolescents resort to emotional states more so than adults. Because of the unequal development of the two areas of the brain during the critical time for a person to develop social and emotional learning, schools have been implementing programs to help individuals develop their skills to be able to perform in the school setting. Impacts on learning. A lack of social and emotional development can hinder a single classroom. That is why programs like Apple Tree Institute for Education and Innovation are working to close the achievement gap before children enter kindergarten by providing a 3 to 4-year-old with social, emotional, and academic foundations that enable them to thrive in school. If students and educators are successful at developing, implementing, and supporting SEL, there is a positive correlation to academic achievement and a reduction of the negative or problem behaviors. Here are 5 different ways you can use SEL in the classroom. The classroom climate is a leading component in teaching and receiving SEL skills. Physically, teachers can incorporate calm areas or break zones to allow students time to reduce their anger, stress, and anxiety. These specific areas in the classroom will give students a safe place to turn to when things are getting overwhelming. Teachers can accrue students' sense of belonging by building a student-centered discipline approach as part of the classroom management strategy. One way to initiate student-centered discipline is by having students come up with the classroom rules and norms, which will cause them to have more buy-in to the classroom protocols. Another classroom climate component to developing SEL skills in students is allowing them the time and space to reflect on their positive and negative behaviors. Castle.org points out that students need to be partners in the classroom and thoughtful about their contributions or detractions from the class community. Embedded SEL into the academic curriculum is another great way to put SEL into the classroom. For example, when reading a book in the classroom, the teacher can choose a book that depicts social and/or emotional issues to align the academic and SEL curriculum. Then the teacher can use the class discussion and cooperative learning techniques to use interactive pedagogy. Castle.org says, during cooperative learning, students support and challenge one another, developing the relationship and responsible decision-making competencies. Whereas effective classroom discussion also provides important opportunities for students to practice social and emotional skills, including grappling with multiple perspectives, communicating effectively, and disagreeing respectfully. I've included a list of the resources I have for my research paper, which includes 4 studies. Thank you.